Hey guys, Liddell and Danielle Hart here. We back.
We are back.
We back. We missed you guys so much. I feel like it's been so long since we've been able to connect and to do a video, to talk. I feel like we have a lot to talk about.
Yeah, but it was a good break, right? We had a reason to take a break, right? Which is the topic that we want to talk about is Pesach. You know, having this time, yes, it seemed long, but at the same time, I think it was much needed for us as well, too.
Definitely. Pesach, our Pesach experience. Pesach 2023, and it was lovely. We had a beautiful time. On the first two and the last 2 days of the whole holiday, you're not supposed to work. It's called a Yom Tov. It's treated just like a Shabbat, basically. And you don't work. So you shut down, and we're not doing electronics and all these different things. And then during the middle days, it's called the intermediate days, or in Hebrew, the whole Hamoed days. And so we just chose just to take the whole time off and not really do anything. We wanted to really enjoy ourselves, be with family, learn, and really experience this whole thing.
Yeah, so I think, like I said, I think it was just much needed, and we did see, a difference from last year to this year. It's interesting because I'm pregnant this year, right? And then last year I just gave birth to our other one. I think she was only like a few weeks, or it was only like, I think she was only like a few weeks or maybe a month for last year's Pesach. So it was just very interesting just to see this year, but even just our growth as well, and still how much learning we still have to do as well.
Whole lot of So how about this? How about we kind of start from the beginning a little bit, and let's, for those who may be on our channel for the first time, first of all, thank you. Thank you for coming to our channel. Thank you for watching our videos. We're so happy to connect with you. And so for those who may be watching and have never heard of a Pesach, never heard of a Passover, have no idea what we're talking about, maybe let's give them just a little bit of foundation, right? So what is Pesach? So in English, most people know that it's Passover, right? So in Hebrew, it's Pesach, and it basically means that, so to pass over. Because God passed over the Jewish homes when killing the Egyptian firstborn on the eve of Passover. Passover commemorates the emancipation of the Jewish people from slavery when they were in ancient Egypt.
Pesach is observed by avoiding leaven, and it's highlighted by the Seder meals that include 4 cups of wine, eating matzah and bitter herbs, and also retelling the story of the Exodus.
It's just a whole experience. It's a beautiful thing. And like she mentioned, we wanted to really get that experience learning and have that first Seder meal at our home. And I think that's a custom that we're going to keep for our family. And for the most part, we'll do a Seder meal at our house.
But we also talked about actually traveling for Pesach as well, too. So that's something that we're really kind of excited about. I think it gives, it's our kids, it's Pesach and spring break is the time that every, Jewish kid basically goes on spring break, is Pesach time. So we thought that would be nice sometimes to just travel with our family and,
that'd be cool.
Go to places that actually allow you to, celebrate Pesach in the hotel. I know there's different types of programs that have that.
So how about this? If you travel for Pesach, so this past Pesach, throw it in the comments. Let us know, where did you go? So I think that'll be cool just to kind of see all the different places.
So we can look it up and see if that's where we want to go.
I mean, we've seen like videos on the internet of people going to Morocco and people in Dubai and Italy and different places within the United States, and just having such a beautiful, beautiful time. So it'll be cool. Cool experience.
Nothing like being in Jerusalem though.
Oh man, I can't wait. So next year in Jerusalem, maybe, hopefully with God's help, Bezrat Hashem, that's what that means, right? So when you hear us say, or anybody say, Bezrat Hashem, that just means basically with God's help, right? Because we can't do anything without it, right? So we always got to say with God's help.
Yeah.
And so let's see. Went to the Seder at our shul, that was a really cool experience because our rabbi, he conducted the Seder. And we just had a beautiful learning experience because he's just a vet. He's been doing this thing his whole life. So he's a really good storyteller, and he just makes it very interactive, and he explains things very well. And it was just easy to just flow. Like, now we had all our kids with us too, so it was, you know how Seders go.
But I appreciate it because we weren't the only ones with little kids, so it was nice. Like, our kids, you know, some of our kids were asleep, some of them were up, and so it was good to see that we weren't the only ones. When our kids were making noise, there was other kids who got sleepy, but that's why our rabbi is so good, because he made it fun and interactive for the kids as well too.
Yeah. So when it comes to the preparation, maybe some of you guys have seen things online, you've heard things about this preparation time, cleaning your house and all these things. And so part of getting your house ready for Pesach is getting rid of the leaven, right? Or in Hebrew it's called chametz. And so, you know, you want to be very thorough with remembering where you've maybe have had some of the chametz. Like, for example, you want to make sure you clean out your car very well. Like, for us, we have kids, so there's a lot of chametz, a lot of crumbs of food, and, you know, wheat and grains and all these things in our car.
Our number one spot, though, is the couch. Like, how many of you with little kids, you know what I'm talking about? You know. It's the couch. It's the little cracks in between. You lift up your cushions and you're like, what? But which we're so thankful for, because I know some people have to deal with, like, even cleaning a lot upstairs. And, like, our kids don't eat upstairs. So that wasn't, like, a huge deal for us to, like, have to go really through their room and stuff. But there's things that we went through, like diaper bags and jackets and little things like that. But thankfully, upstairs was not a huge deal. Of course, we did a good cleaning of vacuuming and everything like that, but didn't have to go through a whole lot because they can't eat up there.
Right. And we wanted to make sure that we also enjoyed this whole process as well. We might make sure that we didn't, you know, that we didn't overwork ourselves and things like that, but we wanted to make sure that it was an enjoyable experience. And again, focusing on getting out the chametz and things like that. And it's a good opportunity to really get your home in order, clean and things like that. But we made sure that to the best of our ability, we wanted to enjoy it, right? So, you know, you enjoy the mitzvahs. And that's what we're learning.
So when it came to, for example, the covering of our counters, we don't have onyx, we don't have granite, we have porcelain tile countertops. So if you know this, you have to cover them with either aluminum foil, or we just found out, which was thank you to this person, shout out to this person. I'm not going to mention names, but I just want to give them a shout out. So they have the sticky top stuff that is great. I know last year we did aluminum foil. This year was a little bit easier because the sticky countertop stuff, you don't have to use tape and the sticky counter. It was just sticky counter. And it was nice because it was like a faux marble looking countertop. And I think for us, it was just a little bit easier.
It was easier for us
than doing the aluminum. And so that was, you know, our preference of what we did. I think that's something we might even carry on and continue to do as long as we're still at the place that we're staying at, because we're renting, we don't own. I personally want a custom kitchen.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
our rabbi have a beautiful, super kosher, just nice kitchen.
Well, and to see that our rabbi said his wife got to design and do all that. Why? Because she does all of the cooking, right? So that's something that will be fun in the near future, if that's something, you know, in our future to be able to do that. We ate a lot, had lots of matzah.
Lots of matzah.
But our new favorite of matzah, and I still have matzah left over, and I'm like, we're going to make more of my, it's my toffee brittle. It's toffee chocolate brittle, which all of the kids loved. It was actually my first time making it. But it turned out really good, and so that was a really good dessert. And we made matzah pizza. We made matzah with cream cheese and lox, right? That was really good as well too.
And we got like this sweet horseradish, right? This with like the beets mixed in it, and it's sweet. Fire.
Yeah, we would actually do matzah sandwiches with that. So we'll do the horseradish with turkey meat, and it was really good just to have our sandwiches.
Fire.
So we got very creative, but it was lots of food, lots of eating, and that's part of it. But I really had to I think this year I really had to think about my meals more. I think last year I didn't think about it as much, and just learning from last year, knowing this year of how much more I had to prep and know my meals and have my meals kind of set. So still growing in that area, but it improved this year for sure.
Yeah, and before we could even think about cooking things, we had to make sure that we had the proper utensils and cooking ware.
Yeah.
And so we had to make sure that the pots, pans, forks, and spoons, utensils were all fit for use, right? And so I'm sure you guys heard the word. We had to make sure that we had a kosher kitchen. Not just a kosher kitchen, but a kosher for Passover kitchen, which is a lot more, which has a lot more restrictions when it comes to your kitchen. And so
I had a whole corner of just our stuff that we can use, and one of the best advices that our rabbi gave us, just disposable. Think disposable. So we got really nicer disposable plates, for our Yom Tov days and our Seder, that, the fancier looking ones that are really nice. And that way we didn't have a lot of dishes we were able to throw out. We got disposable spoons. So it just made it a lot easier this year. I think that was the difference for this year and last year. We didn't do that. And so it just was very simple to not have dishes and throw things out.
Yeah. And then there's a process for dishes and pots and pans. If you want to use those things during Passover, then you have to clean them in a very, very specific way, right? You have to kosher them. And, basically, I don't want to go through all of it right now, but it's a cleaning process to be able to make those utensils or your cooking ware, to make those fit for use during Passover, right? Just to simplify it.
Yeah. And so I know some people might ask us the question, what was your favorite part of Pesach? Well, there's a lot, honestly. I mean, it's the time being with family, right, during this time, remembering, the Exodus, talking about it with our family.
Yeah, retelling the story,
which is why I think our favorite is the Seders. Having such a great time as a family with the Seder, like we said, the first night, but then also with our community, to really be there and see our community together, and having that second Seder. That was very beautiful. And it touched my heart to just, be able to see the different people in our community come together for something like that, to remember such a time that was very important to the Jewish people.
Yeah, I agree. And for us, while we're telling the story of the Exodus, we're thinking about a lot of things during this time, but we're thinking about our personal Exodus.
Yeah.
For those who may not know, we are in the process of converting to Orthodox Judaism. And so this whole time of Passover, we're thinking about leaving our slavery, leaving our bondage. And there's a lot that we can explain there, but our old way of thinking, our old lifestyle, our old religion that we used to be a part of, which was Christianity. So leaving that, coming out of that, and God really bringing us out of that, right? And so we were able to connect a lot of dots while we were retelling the story and having this whole Pesach experience. So another cool thing about Pesach is on the second night, we start doing something that's very unique, which is counting the Omer. So it's known as counting the Omer because it begins on the day when an Omer measure of barley was offered in the Holy Temple. And so you count this Omer every single day for 49 days up until the next holiday, which is called
Shavuot.
Shavuot is a big, big deal because it marks the day on the giving of the Torah. to the Jewish people. So it's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful day. But here's why we connect with it so much. While we're counting the Omer, we're literally preparing ourselves to receive the Torah. And it's beautiful because our next meeting with the Beit Din is after Shavuot. And so, with God's help, Bezrat Hashem, there's good news for us that we are getting very, very close to completing our conversion process. And
receive the Torah.
And we are literally receiving the Torah. So it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. And so that's, we're thinking about refining ourselves, and that's the whole idea why we're counting. We're refining ourselves. We're getting better. We're even working on making sure that we're taking the time to learn something new every single day, and refinement, and asking Hashem to really help us overcome any struggles, any roadblocks that may be in front of us, and just making sure that we are doing everything in our power to prepare ourselves to receive this beautiful Torah.
So with that said, we just wanted to share a little bit just about our Pesach. We hope you guys had a beautiful one. I hope you have beautiful seders.
Yes.
Like he said, we would just love to hear some of your guys' places that you went, or what you did for your Pesach. How did you spend it with your family? We would love to hear that in the comments. And make sure that if you do like this video, make sure that you subscribe. If you haven't subscribed yet, make sure that you do like it as well too. And we have other videos that you can look for as well too, on many topics that we have talked about. If this is your first time subscribing to our channel, please check out our other videos as well too.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys so much for believing in us, for supporting us. And it just feels so good to sit here in our garage, right? In front of our wall backdrop thingy, and just connect. Right before we hit the record button, we were like, man, it feels good
to be back,
to be able to connect with you guys. I was taking some time to go through some of the messages, not too long ago, and we got a lot of catching up to do. So be patient with us. Like, we're like extra backed up. But we're gonna get back to you guys. But it was just so beautiful just to read messages, and some of you guys would say like, yeah, where y'all been? I haven't seen y'all in like a couple weeks or whatever. So we're happy to be back. We're happy to make new videos, to keep going, keep creating content, and taking you guys along with us on the journey.
Thank you for always supporting and loving us. Thank you.
Thank you so much, and we will see you guys on the next video.